Welcome to I Just Have to Say Something. Today, the San Francisco Police Department announced that they're going to be adopting the use of robots with explosives to be used in certain tactical situations. And I'm thinking to myself, what could possibly go wrong? Before we dive into this video, please like and subscribe and share this video. Let's dive into this.
San Francisco police officers have been given the authority to use remote-controlled robots that are capable of using deadly force in emergency situations. CBS's Jeff Pegues reports there was vocal opposition to the plan.
San Francisco police are assuring the public that robots armed with explosives would only be used sparingly.
If we have somebody who's shooting, killing people, a sniper, etc., we're going to do everything we can to stop the threat.
The city's Board of Supervisors voted overwhelmingly in favor of the idea Monday night. But those against it raised ethical concerns and cited the impact on people of color.
You got to recognize they will be disproportionately used against black and brown communities.
Okay, the one thing that bothers me the most about these male Karens, these Kens, is that they really believe that brown and black people are completely helpless without them. Without our great white saviors, we couldn't even tie our shoes. Hell, God knows, according to them, we can't even get IDs. So what are we going to do? I'll tell you what you should be doing. If this is a concern for you, you should demand that there's some kind of framework developed on how to engage these weapons. It should not be left to chance, and it should not be left to the moment, which we're going to find out. That's kind of what they're doing. Let's move on with this.
For the last decade, the militarization of police has increasingly been a concern. In 2014, heavy weaponry in Ferguson, Missouri, sparked a backlash after Michael Brown's fatal police shooting. Armed robots are part of that debate. Currently, there are more than 1,000 robots and unmanned vehicles in use by police departments, primarily by bomb squads. The policies in cities like San Francisco could clear the way for an expanded use of robots as weapons.
He's down.
One of the first such incidents happened in 2016, when Dallas police deployed one against a suspect who had gunned down 5 police officers. In a statement today, San Francisco police acknowledged that it does not have a specific plan in place on when to use armed robots.
If we get to a point where there's uncertainty about who is responsible for the ultimate death of the individual causing whatever chaos they were causing, that is where I think it would be problematic.
Problematic indeed. If you go into this thing with no plan, one could say, well, what do you know, George? You're sitting on a microphone in Georgia. What do you know about this stuff? So, well, I've got 30 years of operational experience. 8 years of that was in the military. And in the last 20 years has been in IT. So I've had lots of experience around operationalizing things. So the first thing I would recommend, establish who's authorized to use these weapons. When can they use them? Perform tabletop exercises to understand different scenarios. Come up with shit. Just dream up a stuff and then figure out what are you going to be doing and when you're going to be doing it and who could approve the deployment and potentially the taking of life with this weapon. Those are the things you do beforehand. You don't do it haphazardly in the moment. That's where lawsuits come from.
In San Francisco, this policy will have to get another approval from the Board of Supervisors. That's expected to happen next week, and then it would have to be signed into law by the city's mayor, London Breed. She's a Democrat who has expressed support for the proposal. Jeff Pegues, CBS News, Washington.
One other thing, the police department says it has no robots with guns and no plans to get any, but it could send out robots armed with explosives.
So they're going to put robots out there with explosives, but not a gun. Historically, at least from my experience, it tends to be that guns tend to be more precise and less apt to collateral damage than an explosive device. But who am I? Hopefully they get their policies and procedures and rules of engagements down pat before they ever have to use this thing in public. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell and share this video. Thank you for visiting.